Rocky 2.
Hello everybody, today we're going over Rocky 2. Written and directed this time by Sylvester Stallone. It came out in 1979, 3 years after the first one. And what do I have to say about it? Let's get into it. Well, what I like about this movie is that just like the Friday the 13th franchise at the beginning, the first 4 films, these first 4 films at least so far, I've only watched the first 4, I'm not sure the 5th, 6th, and 7th one do this. But these films, just like those 80s Friday the 13th films, they start right at the end of the previous film and they show you way too much. That's a con. They show you like the last 5 minutes of the previous movie just to keep you up to date on what happened in the last movie in case you didn't see it, but who the hell's going to do that? I wonder if Friday the 13th ripped off the Rocky franchise, because this came out in 79 before the first Friday film, and those films did the same exact thing. But I like that this movie has major good continuity. I love continuity. I'm a continuity horror. That's why I like the Friday films. Those first 4, they're like one weekend. The Hatchet trilogy. And this franchise, it's like, if you can watch them like back to back. It's like watching Halloween 1 and 2. These 2 films go back to back. You can like cut out the credits and like put them together. And it's like all one long 4-hour film. And there's like all these little things that were said or done in the first movie that come back in this one. We got the same, apartment. The dog butt kisses back, and he takes Adrian to the zoo, which is kind of weird because didn't that guy, the lone shark in the first movie, say that you should take her to the zoo because that's where retards like to go? And now he's taking her to the zoo. Is he calling Adrian a retard? I don't know. Sylvester Stallone, he gets $37,000, he said, okay? In the first movie, they say, if you do this fight with Creed, you get $150,000, all right? And then in this movie, he's like, after taxes, I got $37,000. Really? What is that, like 70% tax? That's fucking crazy. But with that $37,000, he buys a 1979 Pontiac Trans Am, which is my dad's dream car, and it looks gorgeous in this film. In this movie, Creed, he's getting all kinds of like hate mail and death threats, proving that even back then, hate mail and death threats weren't just a Twitter thing, it was real, right? It still happened back then. Creed wants a rematch with Rocky because they tied at the end of the previous film, and he's getting all kinds of messages saying that he took a dive, he wasn't really trying, so now he wants to rematch Rocky, even though he said at the end of the previous film that he wasn't going to rematch him. But I like that little explanation we get about why he wants to rematch him, because yeah, it was a tie, but yeah, he's getting all these death threats, so it makes sense. There's a moment in this movie where Rocky starts to do commercials, and the director's like yelling at him, and he's saying, like, I don't want you, I never wanted you for this, you're not the right person, we need somebody bigger, or somebody who can actually speak normally, I don't like the way you speak. And I think that kind of like mirrors what happened in real life before the first Rocky movie came out, because like I said, nobody wanted him to play Rocky. So I feel like that was kind of like meta, situation there, like shining light on what was actually happening in Sylvester Stallone's life before he did Rocky. What directors were saying to him, how they didn't want him because of the way he spoke and the way he looked. He wasn't a big star. So I just like that that Sylvester Stallone inserted that into here. It's just kind of sad to see that was really what was happening. But in the end, Sylvester Stallone succeeded, so suck it. I like that Sylvester Stallone gets a job at the meat packaging place where he was punching meat in the first movie. But I find it odd that they fired him too in this movie, alright? Because he's given up boxing. He just proved to himself that he's worthy. And now he doesn't even care about doing that. He gets married to Adrian, he gets her pregnant, and he just wants to provide for her. But then he gets fired from this place that he clearly just like advertised for in the previous film. Like I said, he had like the packaging name company on his robe. So therefore, he probably made them a lot of money that night, and they're gonna fire him within like a week? Fuck, what a disrespectful piece of shit place. I found it funny that they put an Eagles jersey on Buttkiss the dog. I guess people were dressing up their dogs back then too in 1979. Now in this movie they had to flip it. Rocky, he has to train right-handed, to kind of throw Creed off because Creed knows now that he's a southpaw. But I heard that they were actually going to have him beat him left-handed or something. Like something happened where like Sylvester Stallone, he like ripped or tore his like left pectoral muscle, so he couldn't really fight left-handed. But at the end of this movie, he's clearly fighting with his left hand, so I'm not sure what was going on there. Like they had to rewrite the ending or part of this movie because of an injury Sylvester Stallone has, so correct me if I'm wrong, explain it to me, because he clearly beat him with his left hand again in this movie. He beats Creed by 1 second in this film. This movie has a lot more heart and emotion than the first one, because you got Adrian, who she's working to provide for Stallone because he got canned, and now he has to go back to boxing, even though he kind of told her that he wouldn't, and she doesn't want him to, so she ends up working at that pet shop again, and she like slips into a coma from working too hard while pregnant, like 8 months pregnant. Lots of emotion in this movie, and as I was watching, I was like, this reminds me of Creed 2. I swear to God, all these movies have like the same little things that happen in them, like getting married, baby complications, and I don't want you to do this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. This movie's an alright sequel, but let me go over my little negatives, alright? So first off, this movie is got some bad humor in it. Like I said with the commercial thing, that commercial was just very corny. He's like dressed like a caveman. It goes on too long. Like, it was like 5 minutes of like him fucking up line after line after line. It's like, okay, I get it. You don't know how to read because you didn't graduate high school. And like I said, this movie wastes the first like 5 minutes at least, showing you the last film. That could have been trimmed down too. This movie is just wasting time. I also find it stupid that Rocky blows all that $37,000 on a house that he clearly cannot afford, and a car, and jewelry for him and his wife, and a wedding, and wedding rings. That $37,000 today would be blown on the wedding alone. Mickey in this movie, he comes back. He's in the first 3 movies. He dies in the 3rd one. Yes. I don't like his character. He's too annoying. Like, in this movie, I didn't even recognize him in the first one, but in this one, he gets a Sheila Broflovsky accent, and he says everything so fucking weird, and I know, it's because he's Jewish. You know, he says everything like foist and woist, and it annoys me. This movie has some cheesy moments. There's a moment where, like, 800 kids, literally 800 extras, are, like, following Rocky on his, like, daily routine while he's training, and it's like, really? That would never happen. And there's just weird moments of humor in this movie that aren't necessary. I just found it weird. It was kind of hokey. He goes to the Mexican priest, and he, right before the fight, to get this blessing, and it just feels weird. It's just off. I don't like it. In the middle of this movie, it has pacing issues, just like the first one. This one has major pacing issues in the middle, like the whole soap opera, like, the baby is born a month early and she slips into a coma, and it's just the movie slows down dramatically right there. But overall, this is a good sequel. It's a movie that when you watch the first one, this is a good one to watch right after it. So therefore, I gotta say, when it comes to Rocky 2, if you have Rocky 1, this is a good one to add to your collection. So go ahead and go out and buy it. It's not my favorite sequel. So far out of the 4, I would say 4 is my favorite right now for the sequels. 4 and 3 are very close to each other. 3 just has some weird stuff in it. But overall, this is my favorite sequel. What's your favorite sequel in the comments below? If you enjoyed this video at all, you can support it by clicking on this like button over here. And if you're new here, and if you haven't subscribed yet, you can do so by clicking on my cartoon face in about 5 seconds to see more. And until next time, I'll be listening.